I think we're live, man. NXT TakeOver number 30 tonight. Went head-to-head with AEW. Keith Lee, Karrion Kross, NXT Championship. Was it as predictable as everybody predicted? WWE showed their true colors tonight with Keith Lee. They had absolutely no plan for Keith Lee as NXT champion. Just like I said. No way Karrion Kross was losing that match tonight. Vacant North American Championship. Was it going to be Thick Boy Bronson Reed? My boy Damian Priest? Or the guy that management loves, good old Cameron Grimes? What about the Velveteen Dream? What about Johnny Wrestling? Could have been any one of those guys. But what was left in the ring was a great ladder match for the North American title. Io Shirai, Dakota Kai for the Women's Championship. And Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher rounded out what I thought was a solid, but not quite, takeover card tonight. We are going to go over it all, including the return of Tommaso Ciampa coming on Wednesday. Back to NXT television. Thank you guys so very much for joining me here on your Saturday night. This is TakeOver 30 post-show. Right here on Off the Scripts.
Delete! This is mine.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. Apparently, I have 2 live streams going, and I do not know why. I don't know what that means, but it's YouTube. What else is new? YouTube's fucked everything. Actually, I'm live on both. Why? Why am I? Now I gotta delete this one. I don't believe YouTube has actually, can I delete this? Yes, delete forever. I don't know why I have 2 live streams going, but YouTube fucked up as always, man. You gotta give it to YouTube. Always screwing somebody over. Let me wait till this is deleted before we actually get on over here. I'm waiting. Now YouTube won't delete this live stream. I don't know why I have 2 live streams going. Unreal, man. The dilemma of YouTube. It's always a thing. I was wondering why I only have 400 fucking people in here. Hopefully it deletes for me. While I wait, I could leave the screen. Well, this is very awkward. Anyway, there we go. Now, there's the normal number. We're filtering in here. I guess everybody that was over there deleted the one I was watching, says someone in the chat. There you go. That one's deleted now. Everybody can come on over here, man. I don't know what the hell happened or why we had 2. There you go. We got double the amount of people. Half of the people were probably over there. Jesus Christ. There you go. That's a little bit more normal, man. Oh, boy. YouTube, thank you so much. Sal Rex is texting me. He's like, JD trying to be number 1 and number 2 for the night. Oh, man. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Whatever, man. Thank you guys so much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your official NXT review. Little technical difficulty there. Not even my fault, man. I did everything I needed to do. Nice and perfect. The sound's right. I got my music going. Oh, man. There you go. There you go. I don't even know why you guys were over there. I don't even know why you guys were over there, man. I don't think anything was really up. There was no description. There was no title for the video. You guys know how I operate. I'm a perfectionist. I give you the tags. I give you the title. I got Sal Rex giving me the thumbnail before we go live, man. We're good to go. Here we go. We got almost 900 people in here, man. Thank you guys so very much for joining me here on Off the Script. Takeover, bro. You know, I was talking to Jesse, who I do my AEW stuff with on Wednesdays. I was talking to Sal Rex during the show. I was talking to a couple of people who were watching the show along with me. If there's one thing that I miss with these pandemic-era shows in WWE, it's the liveliness of a live takeover crowd. Now, I know Monday Night Raw and SmackDown have been suffering because of the same reason, but they got much bigger problems than anybody really realizes. And I don't understand why people don't lay it out the way it should be. No Thunderdome is going to help them. No lasers and drones and entrances and pyro and all this glitz and glam and the WrestleMania-like production is not going to save them. A fucking huge wall of guess who in WWE, a big Zoom call with thousands of geeks are not going to save WWE. It all comes down to the creative. It all comes down to the live human beings that give you their energy. TakeOver has suffered, I believe, more than any other brand or any other show. NXT as a brand and TakeOver as a pay-per-view special has suffered more than anybody. And we're lucky that we don't get TakeOver every month, because if we did, we would be right now in the middle of the worst takeovers that WWE has produced. And it's not even their fault. It's not even their fault. If WWE had a live audience tonight for this show, I do believe that the takeover energy that we're used to would have been all over the place, honestly. Between that ladder match, between Pat McAfee and Adam Cole, between Io Shirai and Dakota Kai, between Karrion Kross and his entrance and him winning the NXT Championship, I do think that the NXT crowd would have brought it if things were in a normal setting. But these don't even feel like takeovers anymore, man. No matter what WWE does to pretty up Full Sail University, they did great within your house. They made Full Sail look really nice tonight with the WrestleMania 30-like stage setup that they had for TakeOver 30. These shows do not feel like takeovers. These shows, they feel like extended NXT TV episodes. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. And who knows how long we're going to be like this, but we're getting 2 more takeovers this year. Supposedly we're getting a takeover in October. Supposedly we're getting one in October and then on into November with War Games. I don't know why that is necessary, because these shows don't even feel like takeovers in any sense of the word. And I really wouldn't beat this thing over the head like a dead horse until things get back to normal. If WWE could stay away from doing takeovers, I absolutely would. I would continue to do TV specials on the USA Network, to be quite honest with you. Not to say that this show wasn't bad, but I just don't feel that energy. The energy that I'm admitting towards these takeover shows is not there. The energy that I'm getting back is not there. No matter what WWE wants to do to hype, no matter how big they want to make something out to be, no matter the performance that we see, a great match hinders on fan interaction and fan reaction. these men and women can go out there and have the match of their fucking life, and it's always going to be decent. It's never going to be at that unbelievable great level that we're going to be talking about for months on end. You guys remember when we used to watch TakeOver, and I'm talking when things were back to normal, when Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa were just owning the wrestling world with their unbelievable storyline. Can you imagine? That we're living in a day with the coronavirus and all this shit, and all I want is that TakeOver back. The energy that you felt after the show was over, the goosebumps that you got. There would be some nights where I would watch TakeOver, do a review, and lay down in my bed, not able to sleep because I was so just full of adrenaline after what we had watched. I haven't felt that way about NXT all year. And it's honestly a sad situation because I don't feel that these shows are living up to what we know, no matter how hard they try. Like I said, not to say that tonight was a bad show. It's just not right to call it a takeover, you know? We expect a certain level of quality with TakeOver, and this is certainly not it. So thank you guys so much for joining me again here on the podcast. We got almost 1,100 viewers live in here. Thank you for hopefully making this the number one show in the IWC. As always, we're on a nice little streak. Hopefully that can continue on into SummerSlam. We have SummerSlam tomorrow night. I will be live, and I'm fully expecting 3,000 deep in here tomorrow. It's going to be a big night, and I'll be here to cover it all on the podcast, so make sure you guys mark that down on your calendars. Live stream after the show is over. Can't wait to talk to you guys then. We did Off the Script this weekend, episode 340. We talked about the SummerSlam preview predictions, and we went over how the "you'll never see it coming" hashtag or tagline can actually be incorporated into every one of the SummerSlam matches. That's what we did on today's show. So if you guys missed that, it is live on the channel right now. Went up about 2:30 this afternoon. Go and check it out. Link is down below in the description. On Friday's show, we talked about Shane McMahon possibly being the new executive director of Monday Night Raw. Why that could work. Why it won't work. Why I don't think it's happening. And the Thunderdome. We talked about that on SmackDown. And if you guys want my full thoughts, my first legit impressions on WWE Thunderdome, that was SmackDown review last night. Big live stream we did. Unbelievable view on it. We had almost, I think, 1,700 people live in the live stream last night. It's over 2,100 likes. It's nearly 25,000 views. Go and check that out, man. I absolutely shit all over WWE Thunderdome. So I appreciate everybody for showing up and showing support on both of those podcasts yesterday, with a lot more coming still this weekend. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below if you're new around here. Thank you guys so very much for hitting that subscribe. If you are an OG of the channel, thank you for being here as always. But if you're new, hit that subscribe button. We are here every single day, every single week. The most consistent thing in the IWC is Off the Script. Make sure you guys, if you want to show some extra appreciation, Patreon is always available. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. And if you guys want to go and get your t-shirt, official store of Off the Script is exclusively available on bonfire.com. We got the new JD is NEGAN t-shirt. Go and get it today. The IWC Savior, exclusively available on Bonfire. Also, you guys can go and get your Off the Script masks. Mouthmasker.com/Off the Script. We got the new black mask in stock. It is absolutely fantastic. It looks amazing. I might show that off tomorrow on the podcast if I remember for you guys. But you guys can go and get your own. Mouthmasker.com/OTS. Super chats are open as well. If you guys want to hang out after the show is over, ask me anything. Ask me about TakeOver. Ask me about SummerSlam. Ask me about Off the Script and what we talked about this weekend, what you thought of the show tonight. Super chats are open, so the live hangout will happen after I go over everything I have to say about TakeOver. First thing I noticed on the show tonight was that there was no Mauro Ranallo. And every time I don't hear Mauro, I miss Mauro. He adds an energy to these shows that Vic Joseph and Corey Graves just cannot duplicate. No matter how much Corey Graves wants to bury Mauro Ranallo on Twitter, the shows are not the same when Mauro is not there. So I'm assuming there's nothing wrong with Mauro. He's not going through another bout of depression. He's not sick. He doesn't have COVID. I'm just going to assume that this was a live taping, and Mauro is usually there, and he is usually added post-edit. So that's why he's not there. I don't know why Beth Phoenix wasn't there. I don't know why Beth Phoenix was on the show and Mauro wasn't there. But I'm assuming Mauro will be back for Wednesday's TV episode. But the show was desperately missing him. Vic Joseph is good. But when I listen to NXT, I don't want to hear Vic Joseph. I want to hear Mauro Ranallo. And the show actually would have been a little bit better if Mauro was there. That's just my honest opinion. So we got Vic Joseph, we got Corey Graves, and we got Beth Phoenix doing the two-man, and one-woman booth on TakeOver tonight. Not bad, but like I said, Mauro is NXT for me. We got the pre-show. We got Breezango and Danny Burch, Oney Lorcan versus Legado del Fantasma. This was Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza in a triple threat match for the number one contenders for the NXT championships, tag team championships. This one was very chaotic. These triple threat matches, these tag team matches are always chaotic. It's fun, but, it's very difficult to sit there and actually take notes on everything that's going on. So I didn't really take much notes on this, but it was a decent little match for the pre-show. And I talked about this on the live stream that I did on Wednesday for NXT because we cover NXT this week on the podcast and not AEW because AEW was preempted. They were actually airing tonight. But I said it on the live stream Wednesday that even though Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch are very good at what they do, and if you put them in a tag team match, honestly, I think Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch probably would have matched up better with Imperium in a tag team championship situation because Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan, if you guys remember, they went up against the Undisputed Era at TakeOver Chicago several years ago, and it was an unbelievable tag team title match. And the clash of styles there was great. Nobody expected that to be one of the best tag team matches all year in WWE, and it absolutely was. And I thought that they winning this match would have been matched up better with Imperium. That did not happen. So I was kind of disappointed. Now, they haven't factored into anything as far as the tag team titles go, so I didn't really expect them to win, but I wanted them to win because of that style that would have looked so great against Imperium. We got Breezango winning this match. Now, they've sniffed tag team title situations before in NXT, but they are the only other babyface team besides Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch in NXT that are actually over. Actually, they're more over than Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Burch and Lorcan have been used in kind of a bench player role. They really haven't done much of anything. Breezango's been on the show. They've been kind of integrated into the show. They're feuding with Legado del Fantasma. They were feuding with Imperium before. So they've been in situations, and now they're finally getting their tag team title opportunity. I don't think they're going to win the championship, but that's your upcoming tag team title match. It's going to be Breezango and Imperium. So how this match happened, we got Lorcan, Mendoza, and Fandango starting the match. Lorcan and Mendoza quickly began fighting on the apron. Mendoza then knocked Lorcan out of the ring with a kick, and he entered the ring to take out Fandango. He climbed up to the top rope. He was pushed to the floor outside by Fandango. Joaquin Wilde entered the ring, and he was met with a lariat on the inside from Fandango, who then threw him outside of the ring. And Breeze and Mendoza, Lorcan, on the outside. Action was on the outside. It spilled back in. Fandango and Lorcan exchange big blows in the center. So the action was back and forth all over the place. In the ring, out of the ring. In the ring, out of the ring. And then we had Lorcan and Fandango exchanging blows. Mendoza came off the top rope, taking both guys out. Raul Mendoza is so underrated. He really is. He is a master of his craft, man. Everything he does is a thing of beauty, really. I'm glad he's getting an opportunity with Legado del Fantasma. Wilde tagged in, and he and Mendoza double-team Lorcan and Breeze. who tagged in moments before. 2 pinfall attempts later, Burch manages to tag in. He cleans house. Then he signaled for Lorcan to go to the top. And then they went for what looked like a modified Doomsday device on Joaquin Wilde. He escaped. All 3 teams then spent the next few minutes exchanging offense, double team offense, quick tags, tons of false finishes in this thing. Like I said, chaos at a point where it was just too crazy to start taking notes, so I just watched and enjoyed the chaos. Match came to a finish when Breeze caught Lorcan with a super kick. All the other men were down, and that was it. So Tyler Breeze gets the supermodel kick out of nowhere, and he wins the match for Breezango all over the place, and Breezango is the number 1 contender for the Tag Team Championships. Again, it felt underwhelming to me because I wanted Burch and Lorcan to win because of the clash of styles with that European style, that European strong style. You know Lorcan brings it. You know Burch brings it. Breezango may be entertaining, but I feel like they've moved down to NXT and they really haven't done much of anything. You would figure they moved from the main roster to NXT that they would actually be positioned better than they are now. In fact, I honestly think Breezango actually look better on the main roster than they do in NXT. And I'm talking 2016 Breezango, when they were on SmackDown, challenging for the tag team titles against Slater and Rhino and the Usos. I don't know how they are just kind of in NXT. Very blah. I don't understand what it is. And Tyler Breeze and Fandango are really great. I don't know what it is. They're just not resonating with. They may be entertaining, but they're not resonating with me. I don't know what it is. So they're getting a tag team title opportunity. I doubt they beat Imperium because NXT UK is actually starting back up on the 17th of September. So I don't see Triple H taking the titles off of Imperium if NXT UK is restarting back up. That's just my take there. So we got Breezango as the number 1 contender for the tag team championships. The actual show started off with Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher. I say it once. I say it every single fucking show that I do in regards to Timothy Thatcher. Unbelievable pro wrestler. Unbelievable pro wrestler. A mat fucking magician is Timothy Thatcher. I could not give a single shit about Timothy Thatcher. I don't know what it is. He is as vanilla as they come, man. He is great value vanilla ice cream. Honestly. Great value vanilla ice cream is Timothy Thatcher. Great, because he's cheap. You see him in the fucking supermarket. You see him in Walmart. Cheap. Sure, it tastes great. But I just don't really... I don't get him. I don't see why I should be invested in Timothy Thatcher. I don't see why I should care about Timothy Thatcher. Every match I see from Thatcher is the same. Now, you either appreciate and love it, or appreciate it and don't like it. I'm the guy that sits in the camp of I appreciate it and I really don't like it. I don't care. I don't care. I can watch guys like that wrestle. I just can't really sit down and appreciate. It's not my style. It's not my style. I am more of a Bret the Hitman Hart type of guy. I'm more of a Bret the Hitman Hart type of pro wrestler. That is one of my favorite pro wrestlers ever and will ever be, you know? But I can't watch a guy like Thatcher. I can't watch a guy like Zack Sabre Jr., man. It bores the shit out of me. And there's nothing wrong with that. You may like that style. I can't watch it. I can't watch it. I cannot watch a full Zack Sabre match without fucking falling asleep. I can't. I will do anything else while a Zack Sabre Jr. match is going. That's just me. I even called a Zack Sabre Jr. match, and I was not interested. I called a Zack Sabre Jr. match in House of Glory, and I was not excited about it. I had to pretend I was excited about it, but it just wasn't doing anything for me, man. It doesn't resonate in my wrestling soul. So hopefully you guys understand that. Finn Balor, on the other hand, is great. I've sung Balor's praises, not only on the main roster. I've always called for him to be booked better on the main roster. I've sung his praises in NXT. I think he's great. I think he's one of those guys that deserves better on NXT, actually, to be quite honest with you. But I know why he's there. I know why he's there. He's not there to win matches. He's not there to win championships. He's there to just give NXT a solid foundation with some great veteran presence. And it's an easier schedule for him. He's happy. WWE doesn't want him going anywhere. especially in a contract year when he's being booked like shit on the main roster, you will have a likely situation of Balor walking out of the WWE if he's on the main roster and he's not being booked the way he thinks he should be booked, or he's not helping the fucking product. On NXT, he's actually helping the product. He's got a nice schedule. He lives in Orlando, I believe, and he just got married, so he's got a nice balance of work and personal life. So Balor's doing great things, man. He is right where he needs to be. Balor wins this match. It really wasn't all that pretty, but the styles here, they meshed very well. Balor with that really high offensive style and Timothy Thatcher with the nice ground and pound submission-based style. They really worked well together here. So Thatcher was transitioning early on with a ton of submission holds back and forth with Balor. Thatcher transitioned into a double wrist lock submission. Again, moving to several submission holds to ground Balor. Balor was able to slip away in a front face lock from Thatcher, put him down with a quick basement dropkick. Once Balor landed his signature Pele kick, both sold how exhausted they were because Balor was being grounded by Thatcher, and he was trying to get to his feet and really kind of counter the submission style of Timothy Thatcher. Thatcher was just out wrestling Balor, so when they actually got to an even base, both guys were exhausted because of everything that they were trying to do to one another. Balor then planted Thatcher with a reverse DDT. He then missed a coup de grace off the top rope. He sold a knee injury because Thatcher was working on the knee. And Thatcher noticed that Balor went for his knee, that he was selling the knee, and he locked in a single leg grab, which is one of his signature moves. Before Balor grabbed the bottom rope to break the hold, Thatcher followed up with it would look like a Pele kick, I believe, and a German suplex. Balor rallied back, cinched in a face lock. Thatcher reversed it into an ankle lock. Balor rolled out of the hold, landed a beautiful standing double stomp, and then finally landed a coup de grace, followed by a 1916 DDT, and he beats Timothy Thatcher clean. So this was Balor and his 12th victory on NXT TakeOver. And that was really thrown out there on commentary. This match actually came about from Wednesday's show because Balor was in that match with Velveteen Dream, and Timothy Thatcher came down and pretty much cost Balor the match against Dream. So that's how this match came about. It was actually added on, I think, Thursday or Friday before TakeOver. So this was a very late addition to the show. It opened the show. It set a nice little tone. Really fun match here between these two guys. And the clash of styles worked well. Balor gets the win. Timothy Thatcher, I don't really know how far you go with Timothy Thatcher. I feel like he's just kind of pigeonholed into that role. I don't really see much more of him on NXT. People have been calling for Balor to be treated a little bit better. Maybe this is a step in the right direction for Finn Balor. I don't know. But Balor is so great, man. He's so universal. You can slot him in any situation against anybody, and it's just going to be great. He's that type of guy, man. You slot into that role, whatever you want him to play, and he's going to make it great. That's how great Balor's been for NXT, but he gets the win here over Thatcher. And maybe this is the start of something for him. Who knows? The one match everybody was looking forward to, the ladder match for the vacant NXT North American Championship. Damian Priest, Bronson Reed. We got Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano, and the Velveteen Dream for the North American Championship. This match was all over the place. All over the place. Another one of those matches that I really didn't even want to sit down and work on my iPad. I just wanted to watch the car crash unfold right before me, honestly. You could have made a call for anybody to win this match. Legitimately. Dream could have won the match. In fact, I was kind of deep down hoping Dream won just so that the internet would break and all these people on social media who are calling for Velveteen Dream to be fired to cry a river. Because it would have been absolutely amazing to see all these people cry. Velveteen Dream comes back and they're all upset and he ends up winning the North American Championship. I didn't think Triple H would go and do that, but you never know with the WWE. Cameron Grimes has been pushed. He's been on TV. You can sense management loves him. Triple H loves him. Shawn Michaels loves him. He's in a good spot right now because he's getting a lot of TV time, and management, they're the right people, the most important people in NXT, love Cameron Grimes. Damian Priest, he's one of those guys that was at one point in the middle of possibly breaking through. They kind of scaled him back a little bit. He had that match with Balor at TakeOver in Your House. He really opened up a lot of eyes. That was a great fucking match between he and Balor at TakeOver in Your House. And after that, he pretty much called for the North American Championship. He called for the North American Championship. Keith Lee beat Adam Cole, became the dual champion. Damian Priest came out of nowhere. He's like, all right, you may be NXT champion, but, I don't want you to think you're getting off easy here. I'm coming for the North American Championship, no matter what other championship you're holding. So Damian Priest immediately stamped his approval on the North American Championship. Bronson Reed, he's another guy that's been coming along quite nicely, and I'm glad he's getting an opportunity. He looks great. He moves great for a big guy. He's got a great attitude. He's very good in the ring, athletic for a guy his size. So I'm enjoying Bronson Reed on NXT. These are the types of guys you got to get behind because these guys are going to be leading the charge when there's no Adam Cole, there's no Keith Lee, and Undisputed Era, right? And after what I just read, there may not even be a Karrion Kross. There may not even be a Karrion Kross on NXT. NXT may be fucked. We'll go over that in a second. But Bronson Reed, guys like that, guys like Damian Priest, guys like Cameron Grimes, they're going to be leading the charge on NXT, so you better get used to them on TV. Johnny Gargano's always there. He's just a natural. You can't have a takeover without Johnny Gargano. And this match was really great. Car crash, as usual with these 5-man ladder matches, but really great. Now, the one thing that I immediately picked up on with this match was it was very, very similar to what we seen at TakeOver New Orleans with the vacant North American Championship on the line in that match as well. That match crowned a first ever North American champion. As you guys remember, with Ricochet and Killian Dane, Velveteen Dream was in there, Lars Sullivan, EC3, Adam Cole ended up winning that match. Feel like NXT tried to recreate the magic of that match here with this ladder match, even though that match was one of the best matches in NXT history, and the talent in that match, to me, far superior than the talent in this match. That match had the New Orleans crowd behind it. You really can't compare, but I feel like NXT tried to take almost the same formula from that match for the North American Championship and apply it to this match. And I don't really think that they will ever be able to live up to that type of match because of the time, the place, the significance of the North American Championship. It was just being introduced. That was the NXT brand being introduced to a Ricochet and an EC3. Velveteen Dream was just in the beginning of his superstardom rise on NXT. Adam Cole was also, just coming along there as well. So it's very hard to compare the both matches, but I did sense some similarity in the two. So, like I said, this match was all over the place with crazy spots. Priest attacked Dream with the belt. Dream made his actual entrance. He was wearing all purple. He got in the ring. Damian Priest laid him out immediately, so he didn't even get to finish his entrance. Bronson Reed, I gotta shout him out, man. Bronson Reed was wearing Bam Bam Bigelow-like attire. He looked great, man. It's the one thing I immediately noticed. I was a big fan of Bam Bam Bigelow. I love that design. So kudos to him for that beautiful throwback on the legend himself, Bam Bam Bigelow. We had Cameron Grimes in this match, one of the highlights of the match, where he was, I believe, in the middle of the ring on two ladders. On one side was one side was Johnny Gargano or Dream, I believe, and the other side was Damian Priest. And then they started to pull the ladder away from Cameron Grimes to a point where he was doing a split on both ladders. His legs were on both ladders. And then Bronson Reed comes underneath his legs, looks up at him, and then knocks him down. So that was pretty cool. That looked like it sucked for good old Cameron Grimes. So Priest later did a springboard kick where Dream was on the ladder. He springboarded off the ropes with a kick that tripped Dream off the ladder. Grimes did a Spanish fly to Gargano on the floor, which looked like it sucked. Bronson Reed did a tope suicida, which is always impressive to see. Speeding up here, Candice LeRae interfered late in the match because she wanted to obviously help her husband, Johnny Gargano. So she grabbed Grimes off the ladder and then started to beat down on him before Gargano took him out with one of the ladders. LeRae then grabbed Gargano's hand and then climbed to the top rope and Frankensteinered Grimes off the top rope to the floor, which is always great to see. So LeRae was not done. She interfered in the match again. She climbed on Bronson Reed's back as Bronson Reed was trying to climb up for the ladder, or the belt on the ladder. Candice LeRae tried to stop him at the top of the ladder. And the best thing about these matches is that there's no DQ. So Candice LeRae was up top. She jumped on Bronson Reed's back. Johnny Gargano was down on the mat below. Bronson Reed took Candice LeRae on his shoulders, and he went flying. One-way ticket to Johnny Gargano's hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. My goodness, man. Candice LeRae looked like she broke her fucking jaw. Unreal. Big splash with LeRae on his back, on Johnny Gargano, off the ladder. The impact of LeRae just coming crashing down into Bronson Reed's head on the way down looked like it fucking sucked. My God, man. Gargano was splatted on the mat below like a pancake. Grimes then climbs up the ladder. He got his hand on the belt. Dream knocked him off the ladder. Dream did his pose on the ladder. He didn't realize that he was up on top of the ladder. He hits the belt. He swats the belt away. He's looking up like he's just lost. Dream looked like a blithering idiot in this case. He could have easily won the match. Even commentary said, I don't think Dream is the brightest crayon in the box or something along those lines. He did his pose on the ladder, knocked his hand into the belt. It goes swinging. He grazed the belt, realizing the belt was right above him. He tried to grab it. Priest was up there. Of all guys, you don't want to be making mistakes like that with Damian Priest up there. Priest knocked Dream off, chokeslammed Reed off the ladder. Gargano and Grimes did a sunset flip powerbomb spot on the ladder because there was a ladder in the middle of the ring and then there was another ladder adjacent vertically on one of the rungs of the ladder and then hanging on the middle rope. Johnny Gargano did a sunset flip powerbomb spot on Cameron Grimes that looked like it fucked Cameron Grimes up, man. His hand and his arm hit the ladder. His back hit the ladder, the corner of the ladder, the edge of the ladder. He didn't even get flush on the ladder. This could have been a terrible botch. So Grimes hit the edge of the ladder. Looks like his back, his head, his arm, all fucked up. He looked like he was completely out of it. He rolled out of the ring. Looked absolutely brutal. Reed knocked Dream off a ladder because Dream went back up again. And this was the highlight of the match for me. Reed and Dream were on top of the ladder. Reed takes Dream and he levels him to a point where Dream goes flying off the ladder and he dives over the top rope, over the fucking barricade, into the crowd, through two tables, over the barricade, man. It was absolutely ridiculous. He went through two tables. It looked cool. He disappeared after that. He did not come back from this at all, nor should he come back from a spot like that. Gargano went to go grab the North American title. I thought this was it. Damian Priest reappeared out of nowhere. WWE did those really high camera spots during the end of this match, so you could not see them coming back into the ring. It was almost as if they wanted you to think they came out of nowhere. So Johnny Gargano and Damian Priest were on top. They went to go grab the North American Championship at the same time. And they both grabbed the belt. Johnny Gargano unvelcros the North American Championship off its rung, which made me cringe. I don't know if it made you guys cringe, but the sound of the empty Full Sail Arena and Johnny Gargano unvelcroing the title, that sounded so terrible. What is with the fucking Velcro on the championships? My God, that does not look aesthetically pleasing. So Johnny Gargano unvelcros the title. He's pulling it. It's like 90% through the rung. And Damian Priest is hanging on with the other 10% on his fingertips. All of a sudden, he knocks Gargano off the ladder, grabs the belts, and Damian Priest is your new North American champion. This was a very cool ending to what I thought was a very good ladder match. The thing with this ladder match is I'm glad all these newcomers, WWE did a good job at getting all the new faces in this match. I would have loved to see how Dexter Lumis would have fared and what Dexter Lumis would have did in this match if he was not hurt. So it sucks that Dexter Lumis did not get his opportunity in this thing. But I'm glad that WWE gave all the newcomers in this match a chance to shine. Damian Priest, not really a newcomer, but kind of a newcomer, right? He's on the rise. Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano's always there. He added a nice veteran presence to that. Velveteen Dream, I still don't know why he was there. I don't even know why he's on fucking TV, but I digress. This was a very good ladder match, but the thing with this ladder match is, right guy won. Damian Priest won the match. I'm glad he won. Finally got his opportunity. I think he's going to do good by that North American Championship. But it wasn't memorable. It wasn't memorable. Everybody worked their ass off. Everybody really went out there and worked hard, but if you're going to compare this to other ladder matches that NXT did, it just doesn't work in the empty setting. It doesn't. I might have had a different take on this if I actually had a live audience with live energy there. Anything that WWE does in that empty arena setting and there's no live interaction, it's just not going to feel the same. This match, no matter how good it was always going to end up being a couple of notches lower than what we usually would expect from this because of the absence of fans. This did not end up being as memorable as I wanted it to be. And even though everybody worked hard and the right guy won, I really can't get behind it. Apparently, people are texting me, people are tweeting me, people are discording me. Apparently Karrion Kross has a torn rotator cuff. Major injury to Kross. Let me actually look at the news here live. I'm sorry to cut this off. Karrion Kross injured. He's undergoing an MRI this week. Man, that fucking sucks. Triple H said it looked like he has a separated shoulder. He will go get an MRI this week. He noted that Kross is a tough guy and gutted his way through the match. As you guys know, Kross won the NXT Championship. And he was pretty much catapulted to the top of the NXT brand. Triple H was on the post show, I believe, with Kayla. He also echoed the sentiment that he feels bad for Kross because this happened during the biggest moment of his career. So I don't know how long he's going to be out. We'll know sooner rather than later. But man, oh man, WWE takes the NXT Championship off of Keith Lee, puts it on Karrion Kross, and more than likely, if Karrion Kross has got to be out for however long a separated shoulder needs to heal, what is it, about 4 to 6 months, maybe? Maybe longer? They're going to have to take the title off of him and do God knows what with it. Really, really shitty situation right now for Karrion Kross. But Tommaso Ciampa is coming back on Wednesday, so he may actually end up factoring into that NXT Championship situation. I don't know. Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. This was a match that had gotten a lot of attention. A match that I really was going to dissect very heavily here. Now, I am a man that when he is wrong, I am not afraid to admit that I'm wrong. But I will say this. I feel the way that I feel about guys like Pat McAfee and Tyson Fury and Cain Velasquez and even a Mike Tyson on AEW. In theory, the theory of Pat McAfee being there on NXT, I will never, ever, ever, ever get behind. Ever. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I think it's desperate. I think WWE, usually when they do things like this, it doesn't really amount to being much of anything. It's just hype. They want to be in the public spotlight so much. They want to be in the mainstream media so much. And it just comes off as desperation. It comes off as if they are not cool. And this is NXT. This isn't even the main roster. So for NXT to do this, it really took me back because NXT was great before they brought in a D-level celebrity. I wouldn't even go as far as to call him that in Pat McAfee. They don't need it. They don't need him. They don't need anybody like him. They don't need a celebrity. In my eyes, it actually takes away from the integrity of what NXT truly is. NXT never needed someone like Pat McAfee or anybody in the celebrity realm. NXT doesn't need them. The entire promotion, the entire brand is built on the future of WWE. The entire brand is built on long-term storytelling and the story of what happens in that ring. Yeah, Triple H and Shawn Michaels and all these guys, Road Dogg, now want ESPN coverage. They want Sports Illustrated coverage. They want all this fucking coverage. Because of goddamn fucking Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee being on NXT was nothing more than a promotion for Pat McAfee's show. And WWE's using him because he's hot in the podcast realm now. So WWE's like, oh, if I could generate some interest from Pat McAfee's show and maybe get some more eyes on our product. It looked like that they were trying to get interest from that realm, bring it over to NXT to kind of use it against AEW. And the way that they built this thing up, it's almost as if they made it to be the biggest thing on the entire show. Meanwhile, it's not really what TakeOver embodies. It's not what I look at when I think of TakeOver at all. But I will say this, man, even after everything I said, and I still solely stand behind, in theory, I hated everything about this, and I will always hate everything about an outsider coming on in. Because normally, every time that they do, the match is fucking terrible. This match was not terrible. In fact, this match had no business being as good as it was. Everything I just said, I stand firmly behind, but I will give the man credit when he absolutely deserves it. Pat McAfee impressed the ever-living shit out of me tonight. Everything he did in that ring was something that I did not expect Pat McAfee to do. I expected him to go in there and be led to a great match, which he was. I expected him to go in there and trip over himself. I expected him to go in there and kind of give me a half-assed effort. And I was kind of hoping that I was proved right completely in this situation. But I'm glad I'm not. I'm glad I'm not. That man impressed the entire viewing audience tonight. And I don't think there's going to be anybody that does what I do in the community. I don't think there's anybody on social media watching this show that's going to put down Pat McAfee in any sense of the word. That man brought it tonight on TakeOver, and he deserves every ounce of fucking credit for what he did in that ring tonight. So I will admit, I was wrong on Pat McAfee. He had no business being as good as he was tonight. This match had no business being as good as it was on this show. This match was great. And kudos to both guys. Kudos for Cole leading Pat McAfee to this match. And Pat McAfee, I don't know how long he's been training. Some people have been telling me he's been training for about 2-3 years. He hasn't had one legit wrestling match. But if there was one match that he was going to have against anybody in this world, Adam Cole, you can't get any better than that, man. You can't get any better than that. So Pat McAfee cut a promo before the match. Really good promo. He came with his boys. So they were not allowed at ringside. We had William Regal before the show even started saying, listen, this is a one-on-one match. I just want you to know you and Adam Cole is a one-on-one match tonight. Adam Cole came to the ring solo. Undisputed Era came out with him, but they left. Adam Cole went to the ring by himself. Pat McAfee was shown backstage holding a microphone. He cut a promo on Cole after sending his NFL buddies away to the locker room. He said with one kick from the strongest leg in the history of legs, he will become victorious. He had his own theme music that it came out to. Pat McAfee made his way to the ring, and his NFL goons were coming out with him, and they had shirts that read, "Cole sucks," written on the shirt in black. Had white lettering on a black t-shirt that said, "Cole sucks." Maybe I should. Actually, you know what I did? I actually signed up for the Thunderdome on Monday Night Raw. I should get my confirmation soon, right? Maybe I should wear "Raw sucks" on Thunderdome Monday Night Raw. Anyway. So, we got all three of his lackeys standing to the side. He didn't send them backstage immediately. The match began. The two locked up. Now, the match started with a collar and elbow tie-up. 2 collar and elbow tie-ups to be exact. I don't know why they built this feud so intently, with such intensity and just anger from Adam Cole. Adam Cole was called a fucking vanilla midget live on his show. Pat McAfee comes to the NXT arena at Full Sail, kicks this guy, they make up. He kicks this guy, they're making fun of each other back and forth, calls him a tiny, itty-bitty little bitch on his show, kicks him in the face, knocks him out in his own home. And we get this match starting with a collar and elbow tie-up. So right out of the gate, I'm like, man, oh man, come on, man. With all the intensity that you gave us with this feud, you're going to start with a fucking simple, basic wrestling move to start this match? Come on. This match should have started the way Io Shirai and Dakota Kai started. Ground and pound, let's go at it, fist fight, ready to go, all guns blazing. That did not happen. Now, we got the two guys locking up. Cole immediately got the upper hand with a standard headlock. Cole then whipped McAfee into the corner. McAfee countered with a very impressive leapfrog. The man's got jump. Let me tell you, he's got some fucking height to him. He attempted to leapfrog a second time, but Cole was wise. He moved. He's seen it coming. McAfee then grabbed a headlock, and he went into a shoulder tackle. Pat McAfee does a better headlock than Dana Brooke, folks. Pat McAfee does a better headlock than Dana Brooke. Pat McAfee does a better headlock than Tamina and Alexa and Carmella. Unreal. So I was immediately impressed, just based off that. Comical, but impressed. So after the shoulder tackle, McAfee ran the ropes and Cole went for a drop kick. McAfee obviously had scouted Cole, says the commentary team, moved and wisely jumped out of the ring. McAfee was trash-talking Cole from the outside, and the referee was counting up to 7. Cole broke the count by exiting the ring. He confronted Pat McAfee on the outside. We got his NFL guys there. Undisputed Era comes out. It's a big 4-on-4 scuffle. Officials and referees come to break it up. Pat McAfee sneaks away. He goes into the ring, climbs the top rope. He does a fucking swanton bomb off the top rope, taking everybody out. Unbelievable looking swanton bomb by Pat McAfee. So Cole and McAfee made their way to the ring. After all of this, McAfee continued to beat down on Adam Cole. He got some offense for a little bit. He got a decent amount of offense in this thing. McAfee walked around. He was kind of taunting Cole. He was acting all pompous and cocky like he had the advantage on Cole. McAfee delivered a kick to the face of Cole, who was sitting. Cole was struggling to get to his feet. McAfee picked up Cole, and then he slammed Michael Cole. Jesus Christ. Adam Cole. That's all I fucking need. Deduct some points for me, man. Holy shit. Adam Cole. So he body slammed Adam Cole. McAfee then grabbed Cole's hair, slammed him to the mat. Referee saw it, got a 2 count. So the referee here was letting things go. McAfee was kind of, he was trying to bend the rules a little bit. He continued his offense on Cole. Cole recovered in the corner. McAfee went in for some more offense. He was met by a huge slap right across the face from Adam Cole. They started to exchange slaps and strikes. Cole pulled McAfee's t-shirt over his head, blinding him. Started punching him in the midsection. Cole then started his offense on McAfee, planting him on the back of his neck with a modified Death Valley driver. Looked like a Ushigoroshi. Cole covered for a 2 count. McAfee rolled up. Can you believe Pat McAfee took a Ushigoroshi in this match from Adam Cole? It's pretty impressive. So Adam Cole went for a cover, 2 count. McAfee rolled Cole up for a 2. I don't know where. Cole knocked McAfee down and climbed up to the top rope. McAfee hit him. Cole was up top. He was dazed for a little bit. Pat climbed up by himself, looking to deliver a superplex. And this is where I was like, all right, I got to give this guy fucking credit, man. I got to give Pat McAfee all the credit in the world. This guy was up on top for a superplex. Adam Cole shoved him off. Pat McAfee flips in midair like he's Ricochet. Lands on his fucking feet. Runs back up to the top rope. Leaps from the ring all the way up to the top rope to deliver a superplex. It's like this guy's been wrestling for fucking 15 years. I'm like, all right, that's enough for me. I got to give this guy all the credit in the world. That one sequence sold me on Pat McAfee. Now, I know he's an athlete. I know he's an ex-NFL player. I didn't know he was that athletic. So I will admit, I was wrong. I don't like it. I don't like the storyline. I will never be for a storyline like that coming into pro wrestling. No matter who it is, NFL, MLB, UFC, not for me. But the fact that Pat McAfee did that, man, he impressed the ever-living shit out of me. I want that to be known right now. And I apologize for downgrading his potential ability. This match had no reason to be as good as it was. I don't think anybody expected it to be as good as it was. So I'm not the only one who shit on it. A lot of people shit on it. So that superplex looked absolutely fucking great. So he covered Cole, 2.5, unbelievable near fall. The two sold the superplex. McAfee rolled out of the ring. McAfee went to punt Cole in the head, but missed. He hit the steel steps because Adam Cole was on the outside. McAfee hit the steel steps. He was selling the effect of his foot hitting the steel steps. And then Cole took it as an opportunity to go and win this match. He locked in a figure 4 to McAfee. Really good in-ring psychology there. The punt kick missed. He goes right for the figure 4. Adam Cole knows what to do. But McAfee wouldn't tap. Pat McAfee wouldn't tap. He was able to get to the bottom rope to break the hold. He was in the hold for quite some time as well. Easily a minute and a half in that figure 4. So McAfee was leaning in the corner, holding his leg. He was selling the leg. Cole went to attack him in the corner. Ref wasn't looking. Pat McAfee leveled Adam Cole with a low blow. Then he got the punt kick and almost got the win. He got the punt kick, went for a cover. 2.9 on the kick out for Adam Cole. McAfee looked at Adam Cole in disgust. He couldn't believe it. McAfee then climbed the top rope. He took off his shirt. He screamed, "McAfee, baby!" And then all of a sudden he went for a double axe handle. Cole, he super kicked McAfee off the top rope. Cole said that he was going to shut McAfee's stupid mouth. He delivered the Panama Sunrise, which was fucking ridiculous. I don't know what had happened in the end of this match, but Pat McAfee, I don't know where he was coming off the top rope from the double axe handle into the super kick. He was bending down and he literally was like hunched over, walking over to the top rope and getting into position for the Panama Sunrise, and it looked absolutely ridiculous. It's almost as if we seen the end of the match coming. He didn't even sell it good. He goes over to the corner, hunched over, and then Adam Cole delivers the Panama Sunrise. 1, 2, 3, and the match is over. After the match was over, Pat McAfee was looking at Cole almost as if, I almost had you. Adam Cole was looking at Pat McAfee, you motherfucker. I didn't expect that out of you. It was almost as if there was an exchange of respect at the end of the match. Adam Cole wins, he does his baby, and that's it. This match had no business being as good as it was. I don't know who trained Pat McAfee, but he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. I also heard that this match was taped. This match wasn't even live. This match was taped, so apparently they had the advantage to really make it look good in post-production, so it wasn't live. I don't know why WWE opted to do that, but I guess they wanted to cover their bases with Pat McAfee being in the ring kind of inexperienced against Adam Cole, and they wanted to really kind of, you know what, if something goes wrong here, we got post-edit to kind of pretty it up for pay-per-view. So the match was taped. It wasn't even live. So that was an interesting fact that I found out after the show was over. McAfee obviously knows what he's doing. He's great on the microphone. He was selling his knee. He's athletic as shit. If he wants to be a pro wrestler, listen, I'm all for him getting an opportunity. I really am now. After watching this, he kind of exceeded everybody's expectations. I'd actually watch another match by him. I really would. Again, I was wrong. I don't like it in theory, but this match delivered on every sense of the word, and both guys should be proud, man. At the end of this thing, McAfee and Adam Cole should be proud. NXT Women's Championship, Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai. I really enjoyed this one. This is a product of Dakota Kai working her ass off and finally getting an opportunity for the NXT Women's Championship. The thing with Dakota Kai is they've gone back and forth on pushing her. Coming out of War Games, you figured that she was going to be the next big heel on WWE television, on NXT television, and that wasn't the case. It's been up and down, up and down. She wins and she loses. She wins and she loses. When you think she's getting a women's championship match, it's somebody else. This back and forth, hot and cold procedure with Dakota Kai has almost left her in a position to, if she doesn't win the championship, what else is there for her to do? Where else is Dakota Kai going to go? After tonight, I don't know where she goes. She lost clean. There was some fuck finish, but she suffered the loss, and rightfully so. Io Shirai defeats Dakota Kai to retain the NXT Women's Championship. Fun match. I just don't know where she goes from here. And you know WWE is not taking that title off of Io Shirai anytime soon. What she had to do and who she had to beat to get that championship, there's no way Io Shirai is losing that championship. She beat Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair for the NXT Women's Championship. That woman is not losing the title anytime soon at all. And I discussed this on Wednesday. If Io is going to be portrayed as a babyface, Dakota, she's great. She's one of the best females in all of WWE. But I don't think she's the right one to ever take that title off of Io. The money is not in Dakota Kai taking the title off of Io. If that was Tegan Nox, or vice versa, that's the feud for Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox. Io Shirai's feud is with Candice LeRae. That's the money match. The next woman in line to be the NXT Women's Champion is Candice LeRae. That is the match you build up to whenever. Royal Rumble weekend, WrestleMania weekend, that's your money match for the women's division in NXT. Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai. They've already met once at a takeover, and it was one of the best women's matches that this company's ever seen. Imagine it again with the stakes raised for the NXT Women's Championship and Candice LeRae under the new gimmick of the Poison Pixie. Should be great. So Io's not losing this title anytime soon. Shirai, immediately out of the gate, as soon as the bell rung, tackled Kai. Ground and pound. She tried to handspring elbow early, but she slipped and landed on her head. Slight botch there, it looked like. She no-sold it, kept moving right along. Gonzalez was on the outside with Dakota Kai, and she distracted Shirai early, allowed Kai to gain some advantage here early on. She locked in an armbar. Shirai was in the ropes on the apron. Shirai came back with a hard jumping palm strike. After some stomps, Kai came back, went for her big running kick in the corner, a big haluva kick in the corner. Shirai got away. Kai countered with a schoolboy pin that planted Shirai into the bottom turnbuckle. Kai accidentally took out the referee with her big running haluva kick in the corner, taking the referee out. The referee was out of position, and he accidentally got hit with that big haluva kick. Shirai capitalized and threw Kai over her head with a German suplex. And then she hit what looked to be a picture-perfect moonsault. No referee. Reina Gonzalez was on the outside. She came into the ring. She took Shirai out with a choke slam, woke the referee up. She dragged the referee over to Dakota Kai, who went to go cover Io, and Io kicked out. Shirai then used a triangle moonsault to the floor to take both Kai and Gonzalez out. Io came off the top rope and nailed Reina right in the fucking face with her knee on that moonsault as she came down. I don't know if you guys seen that. It looked brutal. Then she used another moonsault in the ring to put Kai away clean and retain the Women's Championship. After the match was over, Gonzalez laid out Shirai after the bell. Rhea Ripley came down. Her theme music hit. She actually did not pose this time in the middle of the stage. She came out. Her and Gonzalez had a stare down, which, I'm glad to finally see, because this is obviously not tying up loose ends with Rhea Ripley and Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai was on Rhea Ripley's War Games team. Then she ended up with Reina Gonzalez. So I'm glad that they're finally tying up loose ends here. It may be 10 months later, but now Rhea has to go through Dakota to eventually get to Io. So I'm assuming Rhea takes out Dakota, and then she takes out Reina, and then we get Rhea versus Io, and then at that point, I don't think you're going to give the title to Rhea Ripley anyway. If WWE is setting up Rhea Ripley versus Io Shirai at the next TakeOver, I don't think that Rhea Ripley deserves another shot at the NXT Women's Championship. I don't. I think it's too late for her. That huge creative botch during WrestleMania weekend had fucked Rhea Ripley up so bad that her stock has fallen like you wouldn't believe. So why are you going to bother giving her another shot at the Women's Championship when she's she's very average? She's not giving off that same vibe, Rhea Ripley. I wouldn't even put her over Dakota, to be quite honest with you. Dakota's got more going for her than Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is not even in the top 5 on NXT in my eyes. I'd take fucking Aaliyah over Rhea Ripley at this point. How many people is Rhea Ripley feuding with anyway? She still has to take out Mercedes Martinez one-on-one. And WWE seems like they're jumping over that. They may visit that eventually, but it seems like WWE's already planting seeds for what Rhea Ripley's going to do next. Taking out Dakota, taking out Reina, taking out Mercedes, and then going after Io. I don't give a shit who you throw in front of Rhea Ripley if she beats. She's not going to be the one people want to see take out Io Shirai. So it's a futile effort from WWE, to be quite honest with you. So that looks like where WWE is going with the Women's Championship. But I'm telling you right now, Io and Candice LeRae is the match that is the one that WWE should be booking for that Women's Championship. We got an advertisement for Tommaso Ciampa. He's coming back to NXT on Wednesday. Daddy's coming home, and I'm sure he's looking for Goldie. With the advertisement of Tommaso Ciampa coming on Wednesday, it pretty much sealed the deal for me for Karrion Kross winning the NXT Championship. But at this point, I don't know what they're going to do because Karrion Kross is now injured. We don't know what's going to happen until he gets that MRI and we find out how many months he's going to be out. WWE clearly can't keep the title on Karrion Kross if he's got a separated shoulder. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be very interesting Wednesday. And Wednesday, NXT is going unopposed. So it should be a big show for NXT. But we got the main event. Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross. This match happened a little before the 9 o'clock hour, so I was happy to see that, for sure. Karrion Kross, obviously, with Scarlett. This match, to me, 10 minutes in, 12 minutes in, I was not feeling it whatsoever, man. This was really slow. This was really just methodical. Karrion Kross, I didn't keep a stopwatch going during this thing, but my God, man, Kross and Lee You would figure that both guys' size would complement each other so great. You'd figure that you would get a match with Lee and Kross, the same that you got with Lee and Dijakovic. Meanwhile, half of this match was played out on the mat with a Karrion Kross armbar. I was bored out of my fucking mind watching the first 10 minutes of this match. Thank God it picked up towards the end of it, but my God, man, whoever produced this match, you were doing a complete disservice to both Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. I was trying to understand the method of Kross's madness here. Take out Keith Lee's arm. Take out Keith Lee's shoulder so he doesn't deliver those big pounces, so that he doesn't deliver the big spirit bomb. He can't get Kross up in those big power moves that he's known for. I get it. But you don't need to spend 7-8 minutes of a fucking championship match in a goddamn armbar with a guy that I know can do so much more than what he did tonight in Karrion Kross. At the end of it, at the end of the night, you're probably looking at this match as, man, that was a fucking disappointment. I didn't enjoy this match at all. I expected... You know what? I'm going to go out there and say Pat McAfee and Adam Cole was better than the NXT Championship match. And I don't believe I'm saying that. I don't believe I'm saying that. At least 7 or 8 minutes of this match was an armbar. Now, the offense was believable. I believe Kross when he wants to ground Keith Lee. I believe Kross can take a guy like Keith Lee and really pulverize him the way he did tonight. But that doesn't mean I want to see 7 minutes of a fucking armbar. He worked over Lee's arm. He worked over Lee's wrist. Joint locks, arm bars, just fucking joint manipulation, taking away his strongest attribute. Lee tried mounting a comeback. Kross rolled him back into a arm lock or an arm bar. Lee held him off and was able to cradle Kross into a schoolboy for the pin. Only a 2 count. Kross didn't let go of the arm bar though. So Lee deadlifted Kross up and then power bombed him into a spirit bomb. Lee made a comeback, floored Kross with the forearm. Lee's punches looked really weak because of the joint manipulation and the armbar. So he was throwing these shots. They were looking really weak. Kross was throwing fucking haymakers, and Kross was leveling into Keith Lee, but Lee was like throwing fucking Nerf balls at Karrion Kross. Kross then landed a huge roundhouse kick and a sloppy-looking DDT for a 2 count. Lee fought back, used a vertical suplex, which looked very impressive. Muscled him up for a 2 count. Towards the end of this thing, they both traded lariats, and Lee, Kross, both going down with a double lariat. Kross then spiked Lee with a backdrop driver, and Lee went up in the air. He bounced off the mat, really selling that big Saito suplex. Kross then locked in the cross jacket submission. This is when I had thought the match was over. This is where I really thought the match was over. He locked in the cross jacket submission hold, and he had it locked in. He had it locked in, and the referee was just hitting Lee's arm as if he was fading away. He was unconscious. So at that point, the referee raised his arm, and he dropped it, and Lee, old school style. Referee didn't pick up the arm 3 times and drop it like they used to do back in the day. He lifted his arm once, and Lee, his arm almost hit the mat, and he was mounting a comeback after that. So that was really nice. Nice to see there. Nice old school throwback. Lee then used another spirit bomb for a 2. Kross was able to finally put Lee away. They were both on the top rope, trading blows back and forth. Lee was on the top rope. Kross was balancing himself on the second rope. They were both on the second rope, trading shots back and forth. All of a sudden, we see a huge Saito suplex off the second rope. Karrion Kross drives Lee into the mat, goes for the cover, and gets the clean win over Keith Lee. And Karrion Kross is your new NXT World Champion. Scarlett got in the ring. She was slapping Kross on the chest. She was caressing his face. You physically seen the happiness of Scarlett kind of come through the screen. And I don't know if I'm the only one that's seen this or felt it, but, Scarlett was in Impact, and, she asked for a raise. And when Kross was there, he asked for a raise, And then he didn't want to work, and they kept him off TV. They kept Scarlett off of TV as well. They prohibited him from working in Mexico. They didn't use him. He wanted his release. He asked for a release because he felt like he could be making more money doing the pro wrestling thing. I believe Scarlett was actually documented saying that, Impact told her to go get another job because she couldn't make ends meet with the money that she was making in Impact Wrestling. I'm thinking about all this shit that they went through in Impact Wrestling, and I'm watching them win the NXT Championship, and I'm watching her slap her husband's chest in happiness. And I'm thinking back to all that they said, and I'm like, you just see that happiness just resonating off the screen. Like, look at where they were and look at where they are now. At the end of this match, they were on top of the wrestling world. They just won the NXT Championship. They're in the WWE. They're on this huge wave of momentum right now. They got this huge character over in NXT, catapulted him to the top of the fucking card in 4 months. And now he's hurt. Now we found out that he got hurt tonight, separated shoulder. But the thing with Keith Lee is, I don't know where they go with this. I don't really know where they go with this. Keith Lee, I'm going to tell you something about Keith Lee. This is not the first time I expressed my displeasure here with Keith Lee and the way he's been booked. And we'll get to the super chats after this, but my thing with Keith Lee is everybody's like, oh, Keith Lee's a transitional champion. Oh, Keith Lee got fucked over. WWE fucked over Keith Lee. Yeah, WWE did fuck over Keith Lee. Because I said it once, I'm going to say it again. Keith Lee, coming out of the Survivor Series, going into the Royal Rumble, and going into TakeOver Portland in February against Adam Cole, that should have been the match. That should have been the match. Instead, they gave Cole Ciampa in Portland, and Keith Lee got a title match on NXT TV. He won the North American Championship. That should have been your TakeOver Portland World Championship match. It should have been Keith Lee winning that title against Adam Cole in front of a live audience. They did not follow through with the Adam Cole did not need the world championship at that point. He didn't need to be world champion. They did not ride the wave of momentum that Keith Lee had coming out of the Survivor Series, what he did for Team NXT, being in the ring with Roman, being in the ring with Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. All the momentum that he had going into that show. They gave him the North American Championship. They should have gave him the World Championship. Keith Lee should have been champion long before he won the championship against Adam Cole at the Great American Bash. All WWE did was expose themselves. They exposed themselves for counter-programming AEW with no clear path of a plan. And they booked themselves into a fucking corner because nobody else made sense tonight against Keith Lee. But Karrion Kross. Adam Cole couldn't go into this match with Karrion Kross. You couldn't drop the title to Karrion Kross if it was on Adam Cole. What type of disrespect would that be? If Tommaso Ciampa couldn't handle Karrion Kross it in your house, Adam Cole was not going to do any better. I'm not going to believe Adam Cole's offense against a Karrion Kross. So they booked themselves into a fucking corner. The only thing WWE had on their mind was counter-programming AEW, and that Adam Cole-Keith Lee match was booked in 2 weeks. There was no vision. They just did a unification match or a dual championship match, winner-take-all match to beat AEW in the ratings, and they sacrificed long-term vision and long-term planning to beat AEW 2 weeks in the ratings. Was it worth it? So Keith Lee goes from 2 titles to 0 titles, and now what? He lost the North American Championship because he had to vacate it. He can't defend both. And now he drops the title to Karrion Kross. What does that mean for Keith Lee? Is he getting called up to the main roster? Certainly looks like it to me. He's absolutely more than ready for the main roster. So is Adam Cole. Now, what is NXT going to do without a Keith Lee, without a Matt Riddle, without an Adam Cole, without a Karrion Kross right now? No matter how many people are so over to Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, you may be looking at the heart and soul of NXT, leading NXT again for the rest of the year. Because at the end of the day, WWE has their bread and butter in Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? WWE fucked themselves and they booked themselves into a creative corner here because they wanted to beat AEW. They wanted so badly to counter-program. Instead of worrying about what Dynamite is doing, you just sacrificed your bread and butter, your long-term planning, your long-term vision. That's what NXT is known for. And you've kind of settled into this week-to-week booking. Shame on you. Now Keith Lee looks like a fucking chump 1 month as NXT champion, gave up the North American Championship, and now what? Now what? Now you're looking at not even having a North American, actually an NXT champion. Ridiculous. WWE should be ashamed. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and everybody else involved should be ashamed of themselves for the way that they handled the booking of this show in 2020. This is why I'm so frustrated. It's not the same NXT. No matter how many people want to tell me it is, it's not. The old NXT wouldn't have made a blunder like that with Keith Lee back when I called them out for it. Now, looking back at it, who was right? I know I was. I don't know about anybody else. That's that. Thank you so much, guys. That was your NXT TakeOver. Again, not really TakeOver-esque to me. Even In Your House wasn't TakeOver-esque because these shows more than anything need that live energy. And TakeOvers just missed that so badly that this just felt, and In Your House felt like, a regular 2-hour episode, 2-hour plus episode of NXT. With major title changes tonight. That's pretty much it. Let's go to the Super Chats, man. We got some Super Chats, and if you guys want to Super Chat, the Super Chats are open. Make sure you guys go and do that. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. If you guys were here for the actual podcast, you can stay or you can go. But we're going to read some Super Chats here. Daniel Easterday with a $2 bomb. Off the script, number 1 in the IWC, period. Thank you, Daniel. Stephen Lugo with a $15 Super Chat, man. Hey, JD. I've been a subscriber since 2008. You're one of the funniest and informative person in the IWC. I appreciate that, Stephen. Thank you so much, man. Popo Jr., $2 Super Chat. Great ladder match. My pick 1, very glad. I'm happy NXT is not part of the Thunderdome. I'm glad too. But these shows need more life than anything, like I said, man, really. I feel NXT is really missing something with that live human interaction. Same thing with AEW. Hopefully All Out is a lot better than it was at Double or Nothing. Because now they're allowing fans in Daly's place, so should be interesting. Dan Trower, 2507 with a £5 Super Chat coming from the UK. Hey, JD, thought TakeOver didn't need the comedy in the ladder match. You thought TakeOver was what? Good? Bad? Were you indifferent to it? You kind of cut yourself off there, man. Didn't need the comedy in the ladder match. I didn't really see any comedy in the ladder match, but I thought it was 5 guys working their ass off. Jacob Donnelly, $10 Super Chat. I watched AEW first and only got to see the main event of NXT. Glad Kross won the belt, and hopefully they continue a feud with Ciampa upon his return. Tonight was a great night of wrestling. Well, depending on what happens with Kross, I don't think we'll be seeing Ciampa versus Kross anytime soon, but the story was going to be there. The reason why they are bringing Ciampa back to television is because he was going to seek revenge or retribution on Kross for what he did to him at TakeOver In Your House. And this time, Kross is packing a little bit more gold than he did the last time. So he'd be coming after not only Revenge, but Goldie. And now that story might not be able to happen, at least right now. Laura Conway, $1.99. Thank you for stopping by, Laura. Gregory Benson, $4.99. Anybody ready for the biggest scam of the summer? I know I'm not. Oh, man, I'm ready. Live stream tomorrow night. Justin with a $1.99 super chat. NXT was great. Congrats to Priest. And fuck Summer Scam. Summer Scam tomorrow. You'll never see it coming, folks. You'll never see it coming. Gregory Benson, $19.99 super chat. I also wish that Vince McMahon would have came out last night and admitted to lying about his own failures. But we all know it's a foregone conclusion that it's not happening. He will never admit it. Vince would never admit that he can't handle it anymore, man. That's why he hires all these clowns, so that they take the blame. Vince will never blame himself. OMG, those greens. What a $4.99 super chat. You have to review AEW soon, man. Show was equal footing to TakeOver tonight. I gotta watch it. TakeOver is TakeOver, man. Dynamite I could catch up and watch immediately after this. We'll see what happens. Matt Eagle, $4.99. I pray we never hear Graves on a TakeOver again. It just doesn't feel the same without Morrow on commentary. And while you're at it, where the fuck is Nigel McGuinness? Get Nigel back. Come on, man. Also, Justin with another $1.99. Also, my shirt is arriving on Wednesday. I'm excited. Justin got his IWC Savior JD's NEGAN shirt. Did you guys go and get yours today? You should. Link is down in the description. Go and pick it up. Zach Wiles, $4.99. I don't know what it was about tonight, but the overall matches seemed kind of sloppy. Lots of small botches, awkward pauses, taking away from the action, in my opinion. Like I said, man, not even that. I called out some of the botches here tonight, but overall, it doesn't feel like a takeover to me. It doesn't. Not until things get back to normal. Cool Jags, $4.99. What's up, brother? This takeover might have been rushed, but damn, did I love it. Still felt like takeovers to me. Yeah, listen, man, everybody's gonna feel the same. Everybody's gonna feel a different way. You know, I'm not saying everybody has to feel the same way that I do, but you know, I've been watching NXT for quite a while, man. And these takeovers just don't feel the same to me. I don't know what it is. You know, it's a mixture of the empty arena, the fact that it's somewhat lifeless in there. They're operating out of Full Sail University. I know the old takeovers operated out of Full Sail, but NXT is well beyond that. You know, and it also has to do with TakeOver, you know, being rushed. It didn't feel like the build to TakeOver was right. NXT TV hasn't been right. They felt rushed on TV even. There's no long-term vision, at least not lately in NXT. All of that builds up. All that shit I notice. You can't get anything past me when I watch NXT, man. I've been watching NXT for 8 years now. Covering NXT on the channel for 8 years. Come on. Shining Wiz TV, $5 super chat. I love this chat. Not a bunch of Kross nut huggers. He's really not all that. Kross is impressive. He might not have been impressive tonight. He actually had a better match with Ciampa in 7 minutes than he did with Lee tonight in 20. Killer Kross is... Listen, man, you can't just base Kross on what he does in the ring. They wanted to tell a particular story. I wasn't really too fond of it for the first 7-8 minutes because of the fucking armbar. But Kross, the entrance, the overall package, the fact that he's got Scarlett, his body language, his promos, his intensity, his facial expressions, man, you can't teach that to anybody. He does that better than a lot of people in the WWE. He's one of the best at it. There's a reason why WWE has pushed him to the moon, and Triple H is incredibly high on him. Look at him. Look at Scarlett. It's not difficult to figure out. You just can't watch what he does in the ring. You gotta watch the overall package. Nobody's gonna be perfect on any given evening. I expected more. I expected a Lee Dijakovic classic between these two guys. Especially with the way that the match was built up. I mean, his fucking face was set on fire, Keith Lee. And you're gonna fucking have an armbar? Keith Lee should have been out for revenge. This guy should have been out for blood. Karrion Kross should have been in a situation where he was just an absolute murderer tonight. 8 minutes of an armbar. I don't understand it. MGene199. I am stoned. Could go for a Titus Catering entree. What does Titus got for SummerSlam, man? I don't know. I'm sure it's going to be good. They moved into the Amway Center, the Thunderdome. Sure, catering was fucking given the works tomorrow night. What did I have today? I had a turkey sandwich with pepper jack cheese, oil and vinegar, and spicy mustard from Primo Hoagies. And I had mozzarella sticks with homemade sauce that I made. I know my way around a fucking kitchen or two, man. Mr. Premium 2002. I knew as soon as Karrion landed that clothesline from Lee, or landed after that clothesline from me, he had stiff landing and he grabbed his shoulder after landing right on it. I might have to watch that back. I didn't pick that up live. I did not pick that up live. Matthew Carruthers, $5 super chat. You can't justify Pat getting 80% of the offense in this match against the longest reigning NXT champion. I agree with you, but WWE does things to make the fans feel stupid. That's exactly why they did that. Everybody and their mother shit on this match, not expecting a fucking thing out of Pat McAfee. So WWE gave him 80% of the offense because they know Adam Cole can go out there and have a WrestleMania performance on any given night. And Triple H is no dummy. He would not be investing in this match if he knew it wasn't going to go well. He knew what Pat McAfee was capable of before Pat McAfee got in the ring with Adam Cole tonight. He did what he did because, and they produced this match the way that they did because everybody in the community shit on it before it even happened. They were looking for every mistake possible, and then when McAfee got in there and he impressed everybody, they're all laughing. I know them. Look at these marks on the internet. Who's laughing now? WWE loves to get even with the fans. Just shows their signs of weakness. That's all it is. Jose, $2. I'm with you, JD. I really didn't want to like Pat. In theory, my opinion still stands. But you got to give the man credit. He went out there and did fucking great tonight. Shy God, 97,499. My JD on showing you he's a beast at what he does. And Karrion Kross is amazing. The promo they had set up for the main event was a classic. Yeah, that promo, that opening vignette for the match was great. I can do without fucking Frantic by Metallica, though. That whole album is fucking garbage. Justin Striplin, $14.99 super chat. Adam Cole vs. Pat McAfee is my match of the night. Pat McAfee saying he only had 2 weeks to train. I think that's BS. This guy's been with the WWE since Adam Cole started feuding in late 2017. I heard he's been training for 2 years. Maybe the match, they had 2 weeks to put together the match? I don't know. But whatever they did tonight looked great. Imagine more time, and more time with him training. We got JD from NY206 is the best pro wrestling podcaster in the chat. What a name there, bro. Thank you. Just ordered your t-shirt. Appreciate that, brother. Ricardo with a $4.99 super chat. I went from wanting to see Rhea Ripley to Rhea Ripley, get off my TV already. Thanks, Android Queen. Yeah, thanks, Charlotte. What a fucking waste. Now, Rhea Ripley, my God. Justin Strickland with another $4.99 super chat. Asuka did an interview and said that she thinks and is interested in winning the women's tag team titles with Shayna Baszler. Your thoughts on that? I don't like it. The future opponents tagging up to win the tag team titles only to feud later, man. How many times has that been done? When Asuka beats Sasha on Sunday night, her next opponent's going to be Shayna. And they're going to go after the tag team titles? Come on. That's lazy writing right there. Ricardo Linnell, $9.99. JD, thank you for bringing it and giving us nothing but the truth. Where do you think Kross's injury will leave the NXT title picture if he's out? I don't know, man. I don't know how many more triple threat matches they could have. I don't know how many tournaments they could have. NXT's not in a good place right now. NXT is not in a good place right now, man. Karma is a bitch. You worried so much about those other guys, and you got internal issues happening all around you. You should concentrate on what's happening in NXT. I don't know. We can certainly see Ciampa and Gargano for the championship again. I have no fucking idea. No idea. Finn Balor, maybe. Or maybe Adam Cole stays in NXT for a little bit longer. We'll see what happens on Wednesday. What else we got here, man? We got, let's see. Clash, $4.99. Will there be an AEW podcast? Cody lost too. Wow. Not sure, man. I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow. I may take the day off until SummerSlam tomorrow. Hams and 210, $5 super chat. Been a fan of yours since 2017. Just wondering which pay-per-view do you find more exciting, Royal Rumble or WrestleMania? Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view all year. Justin Striplin, $9.99. Since the NXT Championship is going to be vacated, I think they should book a tournament to determine the next champion and instead of multi-person qualifying matches. I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. And Adam Cole should be in it. And that'll be his swan song before they call him up. Vince McMahon's nuts smell like money. $2, 2 pounds from Scotland. Hey, JD, love from Scotland. Thank you, Vince McMahon's nuts. I appreciate you. Kenley Pierre with a $1 super chat. Thank you. Phil O with a $4.99 super chat. I know they weren't going to take the women's title off of VO, but I really wanted them to go all in on Kai. Maybe main roster. Thoughts? Yeah. There's really nothing for her to do in NXT anymore. Other than maybe a possible feud with Tegan Nox. Where else does Dakota go? I don't know. She's ready. She's more than ready for the main roster. Indigo, $2. AJ, the awesome live stream as always. Thank you so much, man. Elite Takeover. $3 super chat. The Takeover XXX looked good with the Mania XXX set. Well, it was similar to the WrestleMania 30 set, but it wasn't the same X's. The WrestleMania X's were a little bit more flat. The Takeover X's were a little bit more NXT-like with the jagged edges on the top and the bottom of the X's. Very similar, but not the same. I know because I looked it up. Prince with a $4.99 super chat. I agree things don't feel the same right now, which is why, I don't know why, but I gotta give it up to the wrestlers still performing like thousands are there. Yeah, everybody worked their ass off tonight. And the Thunderdome, I feel like it's going to do good for the active roster there on SmackDown and Raw because it gives them the feel that they're actually wrestling in front of fans again. It's going to be good on the wrestlers. For us, it's not going to be good because it's not going to make a lick of a difference. Really. Ricardo Linnell, $4.99. Got my Ridge wallet, JD. It's amazing. Thanks for having great sponsors. They are the best. Got some great ones lined up for the fall and winter months, guys. So keep a lookout. We only got the best here on OTS. Oh my God, those greens with another $4.99. After tonight, I'm definitely buying a ticket to All Out Live. Should be a great pay-per-view. Can't wait for All Out, man. That's the real SummerSlam. All Out is the real SummerSlam. Ulysses with a $5 super chat. Takeover was okay. Just watched to see my girl EO without spoiling you, JD. Gotta say, the ending of Dynamite tonight, man, you'll never see it coming. I know what happened already. I read the spoilers. CC Steven, $5. Hi, JD. Dynamite was awesome, and people online are saying it was one of the best endings to AEW ever. Keep up the great work. I'll be the judge of that, man. My boy, Guardian of Chaos. $9.99. I see you, JD. I've been here for years. I appreciate the hustle, bro. Respect. Hashtag I am the over 50 demo god. Chaos Corner approved. Thank you so much, man. Listen, man, you may be the over 50 demo god, but you know your shit, I'm sure. You ain't like these other fucking casuals out there. CC Steven, $5 super chat. Also, before you watch Dynamite, please go read Brody Lee's interview with Sports Illustrated. It goes hand in hand with tonight. Brian Beaver, $5 Canadian. He says, nada. Thank you for the $5 Canadian, man. Appreciate you. Guys, I'm getting the hell out of here, man. Awesome live stream. Awesome live stream. Thank you guys for everything. 639 likes, man. We had over 1,400 in the chat tonight. Let's get this over 1,000. Would appreciate it. 1,000 likes in the chat. So if you're here, hit that thumbs up. It helps out the video. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Live tweet with me tomorrow. Let's break the internet for Off the Script. Follow me on there. I'll be live tweeting during SummerSlam or Summer Scam. Check out Off the Script today and Friday. We got a big show on Friday talking about Shane McMahon, and then today's show was previewing predictions. If you guys want my thoughts on everything SummerSlam going into the show, patreon.com/JD from NY206. If you guys want to support. And hit that subscribe button, man. Always important. Hit that subscribe. Turn on that bell. All notifications should be turned on, no question. I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big night. SummerSlam. The biggest scam of the summer. See you guys then.